Hello, everybody. Welcome back to an episode of. Actually, I haven't named the series yet. This is a Geeks Guide to Roblox. Think of a game, and I'm sure I'm going to cover it. What I do is I go into the game, I show you what the game is about, and explain some things about the game. Now, this is the first episode of this series. This is covering Sandpatch. And coincidentally, I'm doing this at their 1 year anniversary, which is cool. It's a really good game, and they have lots of stuff. You can pause here to read the description. If not, let's carry on. This is one of my favorite games, personally. They have lots of things to offer and lots of different locomotives you can play with. And recently, they just added new ones, as it says here on the picture. Now, mind you, if it's a little buggy, that's because I have a terrible computer, and I'm working on fixing that. Trust me, it will get fixed eventually. But, as it loads in here, I'd like to mention why I've been gone for so long. One word: life. I know as lots of my friends say I don't have one, but I do, and it haunts me every day. But on the plus side, I finally got back into recording, and this episode should be out sometime next week. There should be multiple videos in this series coming soon. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's loading slowly. I'm gonna turn down my graphics. There. Maybe that loads it better. Yeah. Some of the stuff here is loading in. These are the Game Pass ones. I don't have Game Pass, so I'm not gonna bother with it. But they do have regular locomotives as well. They have lots of arrays. We can go all the way from way back in the day with the FAs, the F7s, RS3s. Heck, they even have the BL2, which is an ugly train that I didn't know they wanted to add, but I guess they did. We can have the GP35s, SD SD20-2. I didn't even know they had that, I'll be honest. You can have an SD40, SD35s. You have GP38s. I think to start off this episode, I will go with the FA7 ABA set. Just a classic set. And look, minus my poor graphics quality, these are good looking trains. They're not, I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about them. They look good, and my favorite part about this game is their UI menu, which is really well done. Okay, so if you're in the cab and you're going to hook up your train, the first thing you're going to do is back up. So by tapping S, you can put it in reverse, as the reverser level here will show. And then by continuing to click S, you can use the throttle. S and W is how you do that. And then you can flip it forward and put the throttle in notch 1. A and D work your brake lever. And you really don't need that much throttle to move through the yard. H is your horn. L is for lights. B for bell. And I think that's about it. We also have a help button here if you can't remember everything I just said. You can change your camera to anything you really like. Look at this tab on the side here. There you go. They have lots of places you can go to on here. You can't open it while you're in the train, though. I will tell you that now. Turn on my lights. See? It's very nice detailing in this game. Over there you can see you can spawn in cars and trains. I think this is pretty much a sandbox game. I don't think there's much play versus reward. You can go just as fast forward as backwards as you can in real life. I will say though, if you have a switch like this on the main line, where it is switched against your thing, if you're going faster than 20 on your speedometer, I presume that's miles per hour, you will derail your train. It will just go straight out the side. But if you're in the yard it'll flip to your liking. To flip the switches, all you have to do is click, and you can click from any distance. See? You can click it back and forth. Ooh, I'm going a little fast in the yard here, aren't I? Now, I will say, having more than a single cut of cars at a time will become a little bit laggy. Sometimes it will derail, but the most annoying part of this is your camera, which will go back. This bugger switched me onto the tracks again. And also, the light will switch from end to end depending on which direction you're going. So, like here, it's at the front. If I put it in reverse, give it a second. Reverse. Oh, never mind. Now it's not working. Must be a bug. Anyway, so yes, that's how the trains work. You can just hold down this button and go to either delete train, which will delete everything that you're coupled into, or you can just go delete loco. I'm going to delete this entire set here. And they have multiple of these locomotive spawners. So these boosters spawner and obviously the Game Pass spawner, those are both, well, Game Passes. You have to buy them. I'm not exactly sure how much they cost. I haven't looked. Let's grab a classic. We'll just grab, if I can find it, dear God, a duo of SD40-2s. Most of these trains will come with two locomotives. You can get into either end by just jumping in like that. Or if you want to be a little more into the role play, you can come up. You can come up here and walk across. You also have a booster seat in these locomotives that you can ride in. Oh, I forgot to couple up. Oops. Mind you, these do roll pretty well, actually. And like I said before, this has a very nice, well-detailed, what do you call it, UI. There we go, and we're gonna just cruise over here to hook up to some cars. As long as there isn't somebody in the way. Which it looks like there is, so we'll have to wait for him. Tip for driving is if you need to do a slow down, only tap D, which puts your brakes on. Just tap it once. It'll give you a smooth, slow, gradual slowdown. All right? Or if you really screw up and you didn't remember the fact that there is other people in this game, you can slam it all the way forward and then just keep tapping S and you'll go into reverse. Or W, depending which direction you're going. Now you can go into either end of these locomotives. So, like I'm sitting here, you can also go over to here, which is the other end, and the controls automatically link to any locomotives that you're coupled onto. So, like, look, this guy just coupled in. Now he's not just controlling this one, he's controlling both of these locomotives. It automatically pairs. Sometimes it does take notch 2 to just inch the train forward to get it rolling. That happens sometimes. He's making a realistic train set. That's cool. I'll show you the rolling stock UI here in a second. Apparently I'm going awfully slow. Let me know down in the comments section if you've played this game and which locomotive set is your favorite. Now what we're going to do is we're going to walk back here. Sprint button in this game is shift, but if you run into an object, like I'll show you, oh, maybe not. Sometimes you just kind of get flung around. I don't recommend using it if you're just casually playing. So they have all of these are in maximum lengths of 20 cars. Now it doesn't sound like a lot, but there's a big chunk. Like for example, this entire track from that green car up there, way back here, that's 20 cars. And either they can spawn with or without a caboose, depending on what you'd like. Or you can do random consists where you just spawn a couple of cars, right? Like maybe you only want 5 random freight cars with a caboose. Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up a unit tanker train with a caboose. It'll spawn a randomly colored caboose with a different railroads branch on it. Now it will only let you couple up to your train for 10 seconds. So if somebody else comes along from the back side of the train at the other end and tries to couple onto your train, if it's within 10 seconds, he can't. It's bound to you. Okay. Once you have initially coupled into the cars, what you're going to do is you're going to keep going forward for about 5 or 6 seconds, and then you can start to go the other direction. I'm going to swap ends, so I'm going forward. Also, they will sort of keep rolling if you get out of the cab. It'll always default to 0 on your throttle. Also, it's just courteous in this game. Honk whenever somebody else honks. And if you're going over a switch or a point, use your bell. Depends what you call it, I guess. For starting a train, you're going to want to sit in notch 1 or notch 2 until you're out of the yard. Oh man, that guy's got a heck of a train. Oh, never mind. It's shorter than I thought. And as you're coming out of the yard, keep a lookout for the signals. They do work, as well as they might be able to. Yeah, people will oftentimes put in here like line is clear, all clear, that kind of stuff. And as you go past a switch, type it out in chat, like as I'm going to do. Well, actually, technically, this isn't my line. Um, I'll show it to you when I get up past this switch up here. I just ran somebody. Oh, we got a passenger riding shotgun with us. So as we roll out onto the line here, I don't think this video should take too much longer. I'd like to say thank you for the immense wait time between episodes on this channel. Things get busy, and then I start procrastinating. So those two usually don't go well together. Okay, so these two are main lines. As you're going to see when I get up here, it'll merge onto that track. I'm going to just crank it up to notch 3 here because I'm getting onto the main. Okay, so you see this signal up here. When we come past it, you can put in chat. I actually don't know what that one is yet. Let's give it a second. What you're going to do is you're going to type in the number of your train and then what it says on the side here. So this is B&O 7629. So B&O 7629 passing, what's this one? CLD1. Always type it correctly. I blurred it. Whatever. As we continue moving along, oh, it seems I put a set on by accident. Most of these corners, you don't want to go over about 60 through them. Now, when you get onto like a straight track over by some of the other towns there, you are totally clear to go all the way up to Notch 8. Just floor it. Go as fast as you'd like, really. But do remember to keep checking chat, because sometimes if you go past a signal, like say somebody says I went past signal B5 west, and you go, oh shoot, I'm at B4 east, you should probably stop or find a spot to switch tracks. Because usually by the signals there is a crossover, so you can flip sides. Just remember to reset it once you go past. Otherwise, you could risk derailing someone else's train. Because like I said, once you're over about 25, 30, if you go over the point or the points on a switch the wrong direction, it will just derail you. Now, this is actually a quite long track, and I have timed it before. At notch 8, so full power, doing 90 miles an hour in a single unit, it takes about, I think I remember it was about 15 minutes from end to end on this map. And they have turnarounds at both sides, so don't worry about ending up at one spot and getting stuck. No, there's turnarounds everywhere, except for a couple of sidings, but you don't have to worry about those. You can usually just back out of those. So we are coming up on our first town, which I'll put her in notch 4 because I think we're going a little slow. Don't want to hold up the line. Now, mind you, going through a lot of these S bends and stuff, you have to be careful, because sometimes if you're going too fast, it'll just pull your car straight into the corners. Especially if you have a longer train. Oh, well, that's not good. Okay. Well, I guess that ends it for today. If you'd like some more videos, recommend the game in the comments section down below, and we will see you next time. I guess that's it for today. Toodaloo.